Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the 1328 podcast. This is your co-host, Caleb Vanderesh. Get comfortable, take a seat, or keep moving if you're doing something and just want to stay doing that said something. Welcome.
Welcome. I'm Dakota Smith. Hi. And I'm sometimes here. Not Jake, I'm always here.
You're always
Other
here.
co-host.
I have one thing I'm going to start off the podcast with. Guys.
Mm-hmm.
Guys.
Oh gosh. 3 guys.
There was this video on Twitter
Yeah.
that was brought to my attention, was shown to me by a colleague. And I don't know if this is a known fact
Yeah.
for everybody, but the women in Sweden
Oh.
are beautiful.
Yeah.
There are some lovely looking ladies over in Sweden.
This is what my co-host Kayla was referring to. So if you have the intellectual app of Tinder, you can switch your location to any location in the world. So if you have a certain level on Tinder or whatever, you're able to switch it to or gold or whatever, and you're able to then place yourself in Sweden, Stockholm, Sweden. And someone did that on Twitter or whatever, and the women in Stockholm, Sweden are very, very beautiful, to say the
Very
least.
beautiful. And I know what you're thinking at home is oh, they're into blondes. Sweden, blondes, it's a correlation.
I mean,
There were brunettes there as well.
yeah.
There were brunettes there as well. So
yeah.
not too
Not very
picky.
picky.
Not very picky.
Yeah.
But then we had to test it out for ourselves. So
Mhm.
an unnamed source that lives inside this house that is
Micah.
that is not Dakota and
Sorry.
I,
Sorry, I gotta cut off.
has Tinder Gold.
Yeah.
There is a fee
You
that
didn't
comes
purchase
along.
that.
There is a fee that comes along with having this.
God, I wish he was here for this.
This source. I would say this source.
I'm gonna throw this in
And,
there. Our production manager did ditch the recording today.
Yeah.
But
this
to
is-
be fair, he
this
went
is
to
a solo
church,
thing.
so.
Yeah. He's just doing him.
Yeah.
He's doing good things for
Fair.
himself.
Exactly.
We accept it.
Mm-hmm.
Willing to go. But we had to try it out for ourselves. So he opened up his Tinder Gold, and we indeed went over to Stockholm to see what it's all about. And sure enough, they're beautiful.
The ladies are beautiful.
So
God bless
if we
Stockholm.
end up in Sweden for a matter of time, I would not be disappointed.
Isn't now people are gonna correct me, but correct me if I'm wrong. If Sweden, I feel like Sweden. I've heard things that they're pretty advanced just all around their country. In
Yeah,
terms of,
I know.
compared to us. I know they've had I'm sure they also have their downfalls, but I know in certain
for sure.
socioeconomic fields or whatever they're years in advance from us. But I mean, of course they have downfalls that
Yeah.
whatever.
Definitely a smaller population.
Yeah,
so
exactly,
more
exactly.
communal.
Exactly.
Population.
Yeah.
But I know they do have, I think it's their recycling program or something.
something.
It's something that they just run at a higher, more efficient rate.
Just a more efficient clip.
Yeah. So we're gonna check it out.
So
Maybe we pop over.
yeah, maybe honestly, I've never been out of the country, so who knows? But so my shower thought for today.
Oh, sure. Love.
Yeah, shower thoughts. Welcome to shower thoughts.
Wait till we get a soundboard, people.
Yeah, no, crazy. But so my shower thought for today. It was brought to my attention that we should discuss bro code.
Bro code.
Yeah,
Alright.
and we can also delve into maybe a girl code kind of thing, at least from our perspective, because then we'll have a different perspective on it, and maybe you ladies at home can enlighten us on maybe some things that we don't do, or maybe some things you didn't know. But
Yeah.
me and Caleb actually, I feel have different perspectives on bro code, which isn't a bad thing. We it's not honestly that big a deal. It's just we certain people. So we see it a little differently. In my perspective, me and Trey have probably been friends the longest out of our frat or association or business.
Enterprise.
Enterprise. I was looking for a better word. But me and Trey have always kept the unwritten code between one another that we would never associate with the same women. If you know what I mean. So I mean, I feel like that's I feel like bro code is interesting. Because it really depends. Like, it depends on your boy. It depends on the situation. I feel like there's no, like, I feel like it's very, very subjective in most cases, but I think it is also necessary. And there are certain parts of bro code that are just very unwritten, but, like, also just very much so known.
I think that comes, like, of course, I think it just matters on, like, what the situation is like.
Facts.
Like, if your boy has been dating a girl,
Mhm.
is super into a girl, knows there's feelings involved,
Yeah.
anything of that such, you just can't go around. Like, no, impossible.
Like, if
You're not doing it. No.
Like, metaphorically, if she's your Jason Tatum.
She's your Jason Tatum,
If she's your
also known
franchise
as a synonym to your Sloan.
Yeah. Facts. If she's your Sloan or if she's your Jason Tatum, then
You know, if she's your boy, any of that such, no, you can't get around it. No, impossible.
Absolutely not. You can't. You just don't do it.
It's just not about it. But if it's like,
it's not a for the boys move.
if it's a no feelings attached
Yeah,
thing
facts.
and it just randomly comes about,
Facts.
like, it's whatever.
Yeah. I've had those.
As long as both parties are fine with it. But
Yeah.
if the other party's like, nah, dude, that's not cool.
Yeah.
Then you just say, oh, perfect. Okay.
I'm gonna tell a little
Yeah.
anecdote, honestly, that relates directly to my life with this.
I would love
I actually lost some good friends of mine at the time due to basically bro code.
it. Wow.
It's quite interesting.
I
I
would
mean,
love to hear
it
about
didn't
this. I'd love
necessarily
to hear
like
about this.
it doesn't necessarily like directly correlated, I guess, but then it like led to that sort of. So a good friend of mine at the time, he was a really good friend of mine. So I spent a lot of time together, honestly. It was like he was like my brother basically, and he had talked to this girl, I guess freshman year, but like it was freshman year. Like freshman year, you're fresh out of middle school. I mean, it depends on who you are, but like
Fresh out of middle school.
damn year.
I know. No, that's just a funny
No,
thing.
it-
It's just
yeah.
like fresh out of middle school.
You don't
What
think
a
of it like
time.
that, but deadass you are. Like
What a
you are
time.
just fresh out of middle school. Like you're
Middle school.
They just throw you in there, and you're like, all right, well,
Yes,
now you're in high
now I'm
school.
in high school.
Yeah, now you're expected to just be like way more mature and way more like I don't know. But my point is, yeah. So they were talking, but like they never dated. I don't think they ever were even physically involved in any way.
Mm-hmm.
I think they like it was a very like trivial kind of thing. They had feelings for one another. Basically.
Yeah, it was like a texting type of thing, like
Yeah.
a middle school texting relationship. Like you don't really say hi in person.
It was
type
so
of
middle
thing.
school, like you
Right.
know those middle school things where like, or like middle school / like freshman year things where like you would like talk to a girl and like maybe at like the varsity football game,
yeah,
you'd like
yeah,
go hang out with
yeah.
her,
You
and,
just sit next to each other and you're
hold
like,
hands,
holy
yeah,
shit,
like,
yeah,
oh,
okay.
my bad.
Yeah.
No, but yeah. So it was one of those. And yeah, I mean, in time, like it was freshman year. This had happened maybe, or when the present situation happened, it was probably going into junior year, so sophomore summer or something like that. So
Okay.
there had been a significant gap in time there. And then also, my friend at the time, my really, really good friend, he was like my best friend, and I still wish the best for him, but he had a girlfriend who's also one of my really, really, really good friends. So I got them together. I had literally met them, like me and my guy best friend had met the girl at the same time, and I basically configured the whole relationship. Like I'd helped it. Not trying to take the major credit, but I genuinely did. I was the one that
kind
like
of pieced it together.
Yeah, I did.
Threw up a lot.
Yeah, I threw a lot for him.
Threw up a lot.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that happened. And so then that summer, I, through a series of events, started talking to that girl that he was talking to freshman year.
Wait,
And
in what grade was this? Sorry,
this
what's
was
the time
like,
span?
this
When
had to
did you
be,
start talking to her?
this was before junior year, like summer going into junior.
And they were talking freshman year.
They were talking freshman year.
And then
And like towards the beginning of freshman.
and then no communication.
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So
Got it.
and on top of that, he was in a full blown like very healthy relationship at the time, like
Mhm.
extremely, and they're still together. Like they've been together for a long ass time. So, but my point was like they were in a full on relationship, and I felt bad even then. Even then, I felt bad, and I was like, yeah, like I don't want to do this to my boy. Like if this is like a girl he's talked to, and like I guess he had feelings for her, but it was never. I don't know. It was always weird. But so then, long story short, I ended up dating her for a very short time. And in that, and before I started dating her though, I went to him and I said, "Are you okay with this? Like genuinely, if you're not, I will literally end it right now." And I also told the girl that word for word. I told her if, like, we can do this, but if he says that like this is not okay and he feels uncomfortable with it and like he feels a little like hurt or just like breach of bro code, then I would end it immediately. I told her that straight, and she was like, yeah, okay.
Sounds
And I was like, cool. So went to him, was extremely honest with him, and he said, go for it. And I said,
okay.
Alright.
Like
I mean,
you
I'm
said
gonna take
it.
your word for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're my boy. Like I don't think you would
lie to
exactly
me just to please me in that
and
moment.
that's
yeah.
exactly what he did in that moment. And then therefore it
Sheesh.
drastically affected our friendship. He, long story short, doesn't really like me very much.
See, that is crazy, dude.
Yeah.
That's freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
You don't even know what words are freshman year of high school.
And
You're
so
just,
yeah,
your
no,
brain
facts.
is not
No.
even configured.
Facts.
Really.
If you really think like yeah.
Oh,
Think
it's
about
obviously
freshman year
configured,
me.
dude, but you're still
No, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But like freshman year me, oh my god, dude, I gotta show you freshman year.
Freshman year,
Freshman year, I said the
freshman
braces.
year, Caleb, braces just got put on. I was
Same.
barely over 5 feet tall, no
Oh,
joke.
gosh.
I was about 5'2", 5'3", freshman year of high
Gosh.
school. You can't expect me to make any rational
No,
decisions
exactly.
or have anything that, not even in a relationship.
Yeah.
Someone coming in our house right now.
Holy shit, we have it.
We have people coming in our house right
Oh,
now. Sorry.
what's
break
up?
it up.
We're filming a podcast right now.
Dang, my bad.
You're good. What's up?
What's
What
up?
do you do?
Lost my AirPods, cuz.
You lost your AirPods?
Yeah.
This is a terrible time for this.
People. There's a. Oh my goodness, people.
Okay, keep checking. But yeah, so we're gonna continue and act like they're not. Like, yeah.
Or
Should we take an
do
intermission?
we take an intermission?
Yeah, we took a brief intermission.
Do we pause stuff? And stitch it together.
Yeah, fuck it. We can do that.
All right, we'll be back.
Hold on. Pause. Is it pause?
I don't know.
Okay. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, after a brief intermission. So as I was saying, yeah, I mean that experience,
Really lasts.
I would say directly correlates to bro code, obviously, in a real world application. But it also definitely, I mean, it was honestly for the best. Long story short, but
For the best.
yeah, because like I ended up kind of changing friends, I guess, and then changing to like a more primary friend group, who like are my friends now and are gonna be my friends for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Shout out to Luge, but
Shout out to Luge.
Luge.
Luge?
Yeah.
Is that your friend group name?
Yeah, it's called Candleluge. It's
Luge?
because I'll give you a brief.
I would love to find out why it's called Luge.
It's called Candleluge Fitz.
Okay.
Fitz is a member of our group.
Okay.
And one time he drank he drank a beverage out of a candle that was like old and gross for like a bet.
Like
And
he poured it in there,
Yes.
and then, oh
And
gosh.
it was from then on,
What scented candle? What scent?
I don't even. I wasn't
maybe
even
maybe it
there.
added a little.
I wasn't there. I
more
just know that.
to
I
it.
just know the legendary story. So
You weren't
therefore-
even there.
No, I wasn't.
That's
there.
tough.
It
You weren't-
was pre me like officially entering the group. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
So
But
you're
yeah.
a newbie to the group.
No, not really. I mean, I guess in a way.
You're
but,
like
like,
the newbie, like you're not a newbie, but
Yeah.
like you're like the newest.
I'm not like the new, like I'm not new. Like I was like basically from like junior and senior year, like half my church. I was in with them, and like yeah, those are my best friends. Those are gonna be my best friends. But to be fair, like I was already best friends with a lot of those guys. It just like I was already friends with them. I just actually started to hang out with them more.
Yeah.
But yeah, best decision. But yeah, so that's how bro code really is applicable in my and I feel like it's quite the interesting thing. But I think it's much different. Like I feel like girl code I feel like is strict. You know, okay. You know something I will connect to girl code. Girl code. I feel like I've been talking for a
Never.
while. Hold on, let me
thought
say this
about
really
girl
quick.
code.
Me neither. But something that my professor said this past week in contemporary ethical leadership, which is a really fancy name, but he was like, yeah, like girls are. If you think girls are like quote unquote mean sometimes to guys, or like can kind of be like just a little like sassy or whatever, like they are vicious to each other. Like girls are vicious to one another.
Yeah, I hear like you can hear bits and pieces obviously from like friends and whatnot, and what they say about each other,
Yeah, vicious.
or what you hear what is being said about each other and how they act.
Vicious.
Vicious.
The thing is,
Piranhas.
Exactly.
Of people.
Well, the thing is, like,
crazy.
I feel like girls will like. The thing about girls that's like really like just like vicious is like, they will like be nice to another girl in their face and like be friends with them and like whatever. But then like as soon as they turn their back, they're like
just shit talking begins. Like,
Yeah.
oh, she's so bad. She's so ugly.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? Just be a
Okay.
good human.
Sorry. But yeah, girl code. I don't know.
Girl code. Yeah, I feel like it's very similar to guy code, just for girls.
Well, I feel like it's kind of more strict though. Like I feel like we can even apply it to real world, like the events we spoke about earlier.
The events we spoke about earlier.
Like Jalen Brown.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In that situation, it's much different if that's a girl. Like if me and Micah are girls in that situation, it's much different. It goes very differently. You know what I mean?
You think it goes differently?
I think it would. Like I don't think that goes like that if
I think it just matters who the individual is.
Yeah.
I think
100%. I mean, it's not
definitely
like, yeah.
It's definitely not guys and girls.
Yeah.
Situation flip flops completely. It just, I think the situation could be different if it had just different individuals upon it.
Yeah, probably true.
Not the friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say that only because like, and this is like not I girls just tend to more than likely like be more like have more feelings involved and like actually like genuinely get to know people and like not just like they're obviously smarter than us, so they interpret more and like get to know, like I don't know, they're more in tune with people in those situations, so like
in tune with people, in tune with themselves.
Yeah, and then like so like they like so in those type of situations it's more than just like what we as just like dumb males would see. Like they actually like it just like means more to them. So like I feel like that situation doesn't go nearly as smooth.
See, I would think that, and I do believe yeah, like 100% they're smarter than us, yeah. But man, there's a podcast out there. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. They've had a little bit of a breakup recently. It's called Call Her Daddy.
Oh my god, it is.
Call Her
I
Daddy
know she is.
has maybe changed my mind on that.
That girls are not smarter than us?
No.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry. I think that's not what you were trying to say, but I was just like, how?
I don't think they're... My brain is fogging out right now.
Are you saying like
I'm saying...
You're saying like you don't think they're as like emotionally attached?
Yeah. I think it goes both ways. I truly believe it goes both ways.
It does. It does.
I don't know if... I think the past perception was that it was only kind of like a man thing.
Yeah.
But now it's
agree,
definitely coming to light.
No, I agree. And yeah. I think that's more so but I feel like it's a certain type of girl. Like it's like this generation of girl that's like,
yeah.
But like
it's
obviously
also
'cause we're
like
just moving past
what society has
misconceptions.
normalized and like
That's 100% true.
what people think of different individuals and like what's
That's very
normal
true.
and, like accepted, but now it's becoming obviously progressing.
The double something that like really interests me on that topic, like this is kind of getting into like societal like norms and shit for like women. It's like the double standard of like girls not being able to like just basically like be like do whatever the fuck they want. Like you know what I mean? Like if a girl like does something or like a girl can't go and like have fun and like be associated with a number of men without then being called like or being condemned or like called a whore or something like that. Like you know what I mean? Like a girl can't just like do that, and that's like fucked up because it's such a massive double standard.
Yeah.
Because if a guy goes and does that, oh, he's like he's just a beast, like he's a legend. But then like girls do it, and they're just like, oh, she's such a
Your value just decreased.
yeah,
so
exactly.
much.
Like it's like a
oh,
what? How does that
you do
work?
yourself?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
what?
people are crazy.
No, that's just like that honestly upsets me because like I'll have like our friends that are just like I mean I just want to like have fun but I also don't want to be called like this and this and I'm like dude, just go do.
I don't think it has much impact as much impact anymore. Obviously, like what I was going on earlier, times are changing and whatnot, but it definitely still applies.
Yeah.
Like just how people perceive different actions by different individuals,
Facts.
like depending on if it's female or male, and all that. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's terrible. That should never be the case.
No.
People should be just worried about themselves. Worry about your own business.
Facts.
People are who they are. There's fantastic people who make decisions that society thinks, oh, that makes them a great individual. But really, they're crappy people. It's just a show they're putting on people. Just be true to yourself. That's what I believe. Be true to yourself. Don't judge.
Couldn't
Get to
agree
know
more.
people before you judge.
Facts.
Make any judgments about them.
Just be yourself.
Be yourself. I'm getting into one of my shower thoughts.
Okay.
Completely changing the topic.
Okay.
Random topic. Kind of deep diving, not deep diving, but flashing back. Yes, people, I love animals, so this relates to that.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking in the shower how cool it'd be, or I started to understand why you see people, and the feeling they get if they're walking around with an animal on their shoulder.
Yeah.
Like you see people like walking around with snakes on their shoulder, or a parrot, or at my parents' church.
Mm-hmm.
They have a homeless man that lives outside, but he comes to church every Sunday, and he has a cat, and the cat sits on his shoulder.
Ooh.
I was like, damn, that's a power move.
On his
But what I was thinking of, like extending that thought a little bit more, was if you could pick any animal, so you have any type of animal,
Mm-hmm.
and like a miniature of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you ever see Spy Kids?
Yeah.
The
of course.
jungle, or the
I'm
island
surprised
one.
you've seen Spy
The
Kids.
the island one.
Yes.
Spy Kids is my movie. You know
I'm
which one I'm
honestly
talking.
surprised.
I love the scene the car flies off the cliff,
Yes.
goes
I
into
know
water.
exactly
Yeah,
what
exactly. But you know the island episode, or the island movie,
Mm-hmm.
and they show the map of the island, and the whole map, and the little animals are walking around. I thought that was the dopest scene ever.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I
I was
do
like,
remember
could that be real life, please?
That was kinda
But
sick.
so
I do
one of
remember
those animals with its full strength,
Mm-hmm.
and it just sits on your shoulder, and you can like telepathically communicate. And my
Such a-
thoughts, and you can like have it do little things, like little
Yeah.
tasks, and it should be so strong that it
Yeah.
just goes and like, does whatever it wants, a normal thing, and then you just have an extremely powerful
Yeah.
animal as your
What
boy
if-
that just sits right there, and he can stay hidden.
Yeah.
Maybe
what-
like slightly smaller sizes.
Okay.
But
what
like,
if?
he can like do stuff, like small stuff, and like people won't see it really.
Okay.
It's so small.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like, what if that thing is already like, what like? Because my first thought is I would choose an owl, but an owl
owl?
already like.
It could
just be
fly.
perched on my. Well, no, I'm just saying it could already be perched on my shoulder just normally.
Yeah, it's already there.
So like I'm saying like, what if it doesn't need to be miniaturized? Like, does that?
See, no.
Would you want it
No,
miniaturized?
my head was just at miniaturized. Like,
No, yeah. I like
and
that.
like if you could like run or whatever, just
Mhm.
it latches onto you somehow.
That'd
It's
be
just
sick. Yeah.
Did you ever?
definitely an owl.
Yeah.
I definitely choose an owl. Did I ever?
Choose an owl.
Yeah, my owls are my favorite animal, personally.
Yeah, I do like owls. I was outside the dome the other day at night. It was like 9:45, 10ish p.m. And
You
an
were
owl.
outside the dome at 10 p.m.
Dome
This
closes.
is such a classic.
You don't close it at 10:30.
Yeah, I
Key
would've
card
done.
stop working. But an owl flew right over my head, and it was going to, like, I looked over and it was attacking another bird that was sitting on the edge of the dome,
That's so
and
sick.
it was such an intense 5 seconds of my life.
Was it actually an owl?
It was an owl, dude. I don't see it. Like, I've never really seen
That's
owls
insane.
out in
Yeah, I've never
like
seen
wildlife.
that.
They're usually hidden. They do pretty good job just staying
Yeah.
hidden and whatnot because they're some crazy predators. But yeah, it was wild.
That's sick
It was
as
a
fuck.
wild one.
Yeah, owls are just fucking sick. I mean, they're just chill. They're very cool, and they're like, they have a lot of symbolic like meaning. I mean, that's why
The way we have symbolized owls though is weird. Like, we make them seem like they're always like owls are proper with the glasses. You know, like in kids'
Oh, you're
books
talking
and
about
whatnot.
like caricatures of
Yeah,
owls.
yeah. But those things are mean.
Yeah, they're
Crazy.
predators.
Yeah.
They're fucking sick.
And we make them like, oh, that owl's the teacher. Like, has little, like, in kids'
What?
books and stuff.
I don't. I think it is weird, but I also think it has to do with like, maybe it's just like it's basically like a symbol for how like educated of a predator they are.
Yeah.
Maybe. But like, because they're always like characterized as like the like intelligent animal and
Yeah.
things like that. You know what I mean?
Very true, yeah.
So they're always like the wisdom, because I mean they're a symbol for wisdom and like
Mhm.
observation and like clarity. So
Yeah.
I have an owl tattoo. I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember.
Where's the owl tattoo?
It's on my chest. It has green eyes. 'Cause it's my
How am I
favorite
blanking
color.
on myself?
You probably, I mean,
I,
it's not like
I
I'm
definitely like,
shirtless that
yeah, so
often.
it's not just like pick it up.
Yeah, but yeah, no, yeah, I think that would be sick. I would definitely choose an owl, but then I probably wouldn't shrink it that much because I mean,
You don't really need it to.
yeah, I wouldn't really
No.
shrink.
No, that's a
choose?
good
What would
pick.
you choose as your?
What would I choose as my
Sidekick.
animal? I don't know. I feel like a honey badger would be pretty dope.
Ooh, honey badger. Holy shit.
That'd be a badass though. But
That
like
would be
shrunk it down for sure.
No, yeah.
I don't want the full size one. That's just
You
a
probably
lot.
could do it.
Shoulder, you could, and it could like wrap around. It's just a lot of weight. Honestly, I don't want to have to think about. Oh, I'm too tired to carry this man around.
Kids,
This
man.
one, this guy.
This person.
I want like a little small guy, full strength still.
Yeah, facts. Oh, I like that idea, honestly. It's like a little fucking. Oh my god! It's like a little sidekick.
Exactly. Did you ever play Ratchet and Clank growing up?
Of course I did. Oh my god! Wow, look at you coming with the culture references. The kid
Dude.
did have a childhood. Dude, you didn't. You literally told me. What really disappointed me. Okay, I can get over Ben 10. I can get over a lot of things.
Ben
but
10 wasn't. See,
Ben 10 was fine.
in my old age, like I think Ben 10 might have came around like right
Dude.
when you started watching shows,
No.
and I aged out.
No, there's no way. You weren't that much older.
I'm an old man.
You're not that much older. I love how like you're saying that now, but then if I were to say like you're old in some different context, you'd be like, no, I'm only 2 years older than you. I'm not.
I just
old."
like, I'm not fucking old.
Yeah, you just like to use it when it's like when it's
Hey, when I say it,
convenient
it's
to you.
different. When I say it, it's
No, but what really hurt me was the Power Ranger thing. Like,
Power.
You seem like
Dude,
a-
like I would watch Power Rangers. Like I think I would. I can't remember. It's a long time ago. It is a long time ago. I think that. Like I would watch it. Just I can't remember if I was like. I don't think I was ever a kid that would wake up and watch shows at a certain time each day. It'd be like if I was watching TV at some point during the day or during the week or whatever, and I'd be like, oh okay, watch it.
you didn't like love a certain Saturday morning cartoon.
Dude,
that
so
you
I would
wanted
wake
to
up in the morning Saturday, and no joke, I would put on like Animal Planet or something. Yeah. I love fishing. I'd watch fishing videos or fishing shows and stuff.
Such a
But I would watch cartoons too. I was just a diversified kid in what I would watch. I had a nice palette of shows and TV shows.
Um,
Yeah.
yes, though.
Caillou though?
Caillou's pretty funny.
I don't know if it was that funny. It was just a show.
No. It was just, it was a
Caillou.
good, it was
I watched
entertaining.
Caillou.
It was a classic. I definitely,
Clifford, obviously.
yeah,
I love
Clifford's
that show.
fire.
I love that show.
Yeah.
When you were learning how to tie shoes, did you have that little book with laces on them? And then it was like a book, and it had like laces on the outside, and as you flip through, it like allowed you to like learn how to tie your shoes.
I don't believe I did. Elizabeth
I
was in her bag, clearly.
Oh yeah, she's
Well-
definitely in her bag.
Elizabeth still hasn't mentioned the glove thing.
I did communicate with my parents yesterday, and they said a package was in the mail
Oh no!
with miscellaneous items,
Oh,
which
my
are the
God.
best packages from
Love it.
Mama Elizabeth and Papa
Love it,
Vanderbilt.
Papa Doug.
Papa Doug. Miscellaneous
Yes.
packages are the best.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
So it may be in there.
Hey,
We'll see.
You know, if I get a little surprise, I wouldn't complain. So my next shower thought I had. Well, it's not really a shower thought, but just my
Just a
my
thought.
point of thought.
I feel like our show just turned into just shower thoughts, and we just
Yeah.
extend upon it every
Exactly.
which is lovely.
Which is
I love
lovely,
it.
yeah.
I love it.
I thought about, actually no, I'm going to give credit to who this idea came from. It came from the wonderful, beautiful, and talented Addison Ray. Shout out my girl. I need a bad bleed. Addison
Also, Addison Ray, and I know we had another shout out, Miss Alexandra Cooper. If you guys ever want to come on the pod,
Yeah.
just-
If either of
you're
you
more than
want-
welcome to. Like, we'll figure out a time.
Of
We'll
course.
switch up our schedule. For
Dude,
you,
I was
so.
gonna say I'll fly you out, but
I mean,
don't know what the
I'll
best
fly you
is.
out. I'll fly you out. We'll figure it out.
I mean, Addison, if you, I would fly you out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You don't need our help.
Exactly.
But
We can figure this out.
just to put emphasis on what we're willing.
Facts.
Like what we're willing to give
Yeah.
up.
I think we just have like a really interesting conversation.
I think we vibe really well.
I mean, it'd be different. The difference in conversations that we've had with Addison Ray and Alexander Cooper are completely the two sides of the spectrum. But
yeah, but it's
both
just
both would be equally interesting.
it just shows what like our range, what
That's
we're
facts.
capable
We are-
of.
we
Wait
do-
till we get guests on, people.
Yeah, we do have a range.
Our range will be exemplified
Facts.
for sure.
But I did get this idea from Miss Addison Ray herself, and just discussing birthdays. Like I'm personally not a huge birthday person at all. I don't really necessarily. We just kind of discussed this, and we also just threw a surprise birthday last night. But
How does Addison Ray plan birthday? I can't wait to hear this.
no, she just. I think like she was talking about. I think she talked about birthdays on her podcast this week or something.
Addison Ray has a podcast?
Yeah, her and her mom have a podcast.
Damn.
Yeah, her and her mom have a podcast. I forget what it's called. I don't know. It's something about her and her mom. I don't know. But I haven't listened to it. I'm gonna be honest.
Miss Ray and Addison, if you guys want to collab.
Yeah. If you guys ever want to collab, we're completely down.
We love bombs over here.
Lovely ladies in the Ray house.
Yeah. Okay, so.
But yes,
Go for it.
so they were just so they brought that idea in my mind, and I was like, yeah, why not? Maybe we'll have some interesting birthday talks.
Birthday talks.
Yeah,
So you're not really into birthdays?
No, I mean I don't really. Yeah, I don't like when mine comes around. I'm kind of just like cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you're really just getting older.
It's really nice. It's like the build up. It's with everything. The build up, especially when you're younger, is always like. Just like the journey is better than the actual achievement.
Yeah,
it's like
that's very
the fact of going through everything. It's just like birthdays.
Yeah,
like
that's
you're
honestly
building up. You're like, oh, I can't wait for my birthday. It's gonna be awesome. It's my day. Blah blah blah. And you get there and it's like, oh, it's a normal day.
Yeah.
And then, but it is cool. Like it's a good feeling when other people put out effort to show they appreciate
Oh,
you
of course,
and
of
like
course.
all that. So
Yeah, of course.
I enjoy that aspect of birthdays.
I will say the one thing about birthdays I do love, like even if it's not like for me and not for me, I just love surprises. I'm a big surprise
Oh,
guy.
I'm a huge surprise guy.
As a person that's like a big
Yeah, yeah,
smart
yeah.
ass and like thinks he knows it all, like I love like not knowing and then
And
like,
getting
being
surprised. And you're like, oh, I didn't see
Like,
this
holy
coming.
shit,
Yeah,
I didn't see that
100%.
coming. That's sick. That's the
Yeah.
same reason why I love mystery stuff, because it's always like you're thinking about the whole time like this should be the murder or like this should da da da, and then they're like, whoa boom, and then it's
And you're like, oh, I actually
Yeah.
didn't know it?
yeah,
Yeah.
like some Usual Suspect stuff, some Kaiser.
Dude, Usual Suspect. I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah.
I'm using the Usual Suspect for my one of my grad classes.
Ah.
I'm using it as my final. I have to analyze it.
Wow.
15-page paper though, for an analysis of
But
the
that's
movie.
fun actually.
Like yeah, I have to like pick my way and analyze it.
Yeah.
Grad school's no joke.
Dude, I know,
The
but
amount of
there,
papers I have to write.
there's a lot to build on that movie.
Oh, I know. That's why I picked it. It could be like anything. It could have been a speech. It could have been
Yeah.
any like
There's so
song or
much.
whatnot. And I was like,
You could
I could
mention-
just write that movie.
Yeah,
and
you can
just-
mention the quote where he says, "The smartest thing the devil ever did was make people believe he didn't exist."
Yeah.
You gotta throw that
What
in
a
there.
quote. Oh,
It's a
for
deep
sure.
quote, yeah.
Dude, Kevin Spacey in that. I know there's a
Yeah.
lot of Kevin Spacey probably has done some shaky things.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and like a lot of things going around, but what an actor.
Yeah, very good actor.
What a guy.
Yeah, definitely a questionable character person, but
Yeah.
great actor. That'd be an interesting topic of discussion. But separating people from their art. But as I was saying, though, we're staying on a little birthday topic here. Yeah, like I said, like a huge surprise guy. I'll tell a quick anecdote. One of the birthdays I do remember though. Shout out my mom and dad. They I forget which birthday this was, but I remember it like it was yesterday. It was at a park, and my aunt is the director of the park, so I kind of just like had the whole park to myself.
Well,
And we threw like a all-star basketball themed birthday.
All-Star?
Yeah, it was like a basketball themed birthday basically.
Like are you saying like All-Star Game? Like
Yeah,
like
like kinda.
North or South or like
Yeah, because we did like different things. We did like a
Okay.
3-point contest. We
Gotcha,
did like,
okay,
a
yeah.
game. I think we did even like a dunk contest with the rims lower.
Oh, like
it
a
was-
mini hoop.
Yeah,
thing,
it was
like,
really
yeah,
fun
yeah.
actually.
That's
And like all my
fun.
friends came in jerseys, and like I was wearing. I remember like it was yesterday. I was rocking my my like black Rondo Celtics jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh god, been a Boston fan all my life. But and it was just good vibes. And yeah, it was a really good fun time. I also won the 3-point contest, and like back then I could not shoot for the life of me. And I invited all like my AAU friends who like were actually really good at basketball.
Yeah.
So like, and I actually won the I was like, what?
You're
Like,
like-
at that
you're
point I
like,
was a
oh my
center.
gosh.
Yeah, like at that point I was literally like the center of my basketball team. So like I was, it was
Just imagine Dakota being your biggest.
I was a body. I'll tell you, I was a
Just
body.
a big old body up
Dude,
there.
because I was like, everyone's like usually, everyone has those moments in their life where they're either like the short person at that point or like the tall person, and I happened to be the tall person at that point. So like I was just like the body. I was just the
You're the
enforcer,
body.
just like the rebounder, feed me in the post.
Give me the post.
Like oh my god, I was, whew, dude, I'm telling you. But
It's about your birthday party.
Yeah, it was sick. I mean, it was just awesome. I just
Mhm.
remember it particularly once again because I won the 3-point contest, and I think we won the like actual game, and then whatever other challenge I think we did the skills competition.
Were you just like weaving through
Yeah,
stuff?
and like do all that kind of stuff. I think I won that too.
Oh,
and like it wasn't like rigged for me to win. I think I just won.
Your parents are like, hey, Dakota needs something. You know, like go to like little guys, hey, just suck it, maybe trip.
Yeah.
Make it take a little stumble.
His pride needs this. Or his
Parents are like starting to stop watching a little like that.
No, but it was so much fun.
That
That was probably the best birthday
Mm-hmm.
I've ever had. I know I've had some other really good ones, but that was definitely there. Also, I've had so many different so many birthdays that this reminds me like something I love. I love mini golf.
Love mini golf.
Mini golf is just a vibe.
Yeah, there was a place growing up. It was it's probably like this everywhere, but I know it's there. It's like the mini golf with like a water slides attached to it. So other side, and yeah, I mean mini golf. Parents are just sitting around over there. You and your buddies are just roaming the mini golf course, hitting it way too hard for the course, letting them fly.
Oh, always.
Those are some of the best memories for sure.
Yeah, I had many a birthday at this like mini golf place, like arcade place that had like the go karts and like the laser tag. Oh gosh, those are the days. I literally probably had like 3 or 4 birthdays there.
Yeah, laser tag's a fun game. It's kind of scary though. When I was younger, like, all too dark. There's a lot of like random corners when you're younger and you're by yourself. And
that's kind of fair.
It's like maybe I might just go out to the more public areas when you're like trying to sneak back. You're like, it's a little spooky back here. I don't know about that.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of like I did not think even though I was definitely afraid of the dark for a good amount of time. I was not afraid when it came to that. When it came to like laser tag, my inner just like fucking violent. Call of Duty loving child just like came out, and I was literally like,
let's ride.
I was like, let's fucking go. Like I was the kid that was like peeking around corners like
you're shooting off the mirrors and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
People.
We did have those too.
Dude, laser quest over in I don't know somewhere in the Bay Area, San Jose. It's not in San Jose. You had to drive a little bit to get there, but yeah, those are some fun memories. Did you in high school have like an amphitheater or something near you that everyone would go listen to like country concerts? The big thing in my high school was like going to listen to country concerts in the back, and literally didn't even like country music that much. I would just go because it's just a great time. But that was like the big thing in my high school. Like everyone would buy all Paso. There's like 10 country concerts throughout the summer. Like everyone would go hang out.
That's kind of cool. No, we didn't have anything like that necessarily. I mean, we obviously had very
Shout out Shoreline,
different.
by the way. Shoreline Amphitheater.
Oh, really nice. No, but we obviously had very much so different high school experiences just in general. But because I mean, yours was like actually like a community, and like you probably grew up with a lot of those guys.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that kind of thing. But I mean, obviously, because I went to a Catholic school, I didn't know any of those kids when I got there. So I mean, we also like there was no like sense of. I mean, the school was in downtown Los Angeles, so there was no like really like sense of community or anything. But yeah, there wasn't anything necessarily that like we went to like that. I mean, when it came to hanging out, I mostly went to like. I would mostly hang out with my friends in Pasadena, Pasadena, California. Shout out to Rose City. But yeah, and then there wasn't any like a place we go listen to music though, or concerts or anything like that. We did if I could say something that like is like something that we went to quite often. We did go to a Pasadena staple. It's called Lucky Boy, and we used to go like after games and like after a long night, you just go there and grab a breakfast burrito.
Yeah.
Breakfast burrito, extra crispy hash, light hash, and then for me personally, I had a little avocado in there.
Yeah. You guys had a burrito spot too. Late night, we had La Victoria. Famous orange sauce if you ever in the San Jose area.
Yeah.
Fantastic burritos. Breakfast burritos to die for.
Very nice. Yeah.
Burritos.
Nice little burrito spot.
Do you think when you're raising young Dakotas, private school or public school?
I mean, it depends on where. More than likely, private school, And I mean, it depends on where I'm raising my kids. I mean, ideally I wanna live. I don't know. There's like 2 or 3 places I really want to live. I would either live in Los Angeles. I mean, I'm always gonna have some kind of property in Los Angeles forever. I'm probably just gonna my end game goal is to be able to just like tear down our house and just the house that currently stands in like the Inglewood area, and just like build it into like a massive, like awesome place that I can just keep forever and just have as like the home base.
Yeah.
And then I also in a different train of thought want to live on the East Coast for a while and like live in Boston or maybe like the New York-y kind of area. I just really like the East Coast. And then also I would also really enjoy living in like the Portland, Oregon area. I think that's a really sick area.
Yeah,
so
Portland's pretty cool.
yeah, like those 3 are kind of places that I could definitely see myself maybe living long term. But yeah, probably private school. That's a good question though. But probably private school. I mean, like it depends. Once again, like I'm trying to say it depends because in Los Angeles, like a vast majority of kids actually end up going to private schools. Mostly just because the public schooling system in Los Angeles, because of the number of people, just isn't maybe up to par if you really want to get a super duper, like if you just want a higher standard of education, and I guess I would probably want that for my child for sure. Yeah, so so I'd probably choose private school to be honest. But I have nothing. Obviously, I'm not like an elitist when it comes to that. I literally only think private school is just because of the environment that I came from, where like in Los Angeles, it's like you kind of have to. I mean, like the public schools just aren't up to par.
Yeah.
And it's like not the teachers' fault. It's just like the funding. Like they don't get shit for funding. It's not like these teachers can do any better. I mean, they
No,
get
it's just
shit.
yeah, they're doing their best.
Yeah,
100%.
exactly.
Just get put in a shit situation.
Exactly. So, and even in saying that, I don't think like honestly, some private schools are just so completely overblown. Like you're paying this money and like okay. There's also just ridiculously expensive.
You're paying like a college tuition sometimes.
Legit.
You're like, holy crap.
No, there were other schools that I could have went to that we literally would have been paying like a college tuition for high school.
Yeah. That's what a lot of those near me.
Yeah.
My grandma was just like.
Yeah. I'm sure that's ridiculous.
Same high.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm public school boy.
You're public school all the way?
I'm public school, or like that's what I went to. I really enjoyed it honestly.
Mm.
Public school seemed pretty great. You're surrounded by so many different cultures and people just within the community that you get a good perspective that what other people are going through or dealing with, what their situations are like. So I really appreciated that aspect of it.
I will. I think that's
for my
interesting.
kids though. Yeah.
Wait, no, continue. I'm sorry.
For my kids though, I think it'd be really cool to do a different style of education and bring them up. Not so much go sit in a class, do whatever, come home. Like a way more interactive, immersed in real life type situations. Maybe I've even like pondered the thought of like not homeschooling, but doing away where hopefully by then like raising a kid like have money, make a lot of money, so you can raise them or do something remote, whatever, where you can travel with your kids and immerse them in different cultures and then do educational things like within that as well. Like I'm just traveling around just so they see. I think traveling is like just the way of putting yourself in different cultures. I think is a really valuable experience, and not a lot of kids experience that. And I think it's a great way to teach and learn and grow as a human. So I like that idea for an educational way of my children.
I think that's very cool. I think that's extremely cool. I mean, personally, like I think that would be sick. I also just I mean I have no idea what my son or daughter's gonna be interested in, and obviously, but I mean, I think it's just gonna boil down to just like I'm gonna put them in a position where they're just the most, or like not even most comfortable, because you don't necessarily comfortable isn't in reality always the best. I just want them in a situation where they're challenged, I guess, and then happy, and then I feel like school is only going to teach you so much because our system just doesn't truly educate kids the way they should be.
Or with the correct information.
Yeah,
and
it's
how
just
they go
accurate.
about
Yeah.
like what they want you to know versus
Exactly.
what is real.
Exactly.
I think there's a pretty major discrepancy in
Exactly.
that. And
So
it's scary to
I
about.
think either way, like it's gonna boil down to like you just educating your kids constantly, and just like talking to them about different stuff and sitting down and having those interesting conversations. Like I plan on just like constantly having just like conversations with my kids and being like, hey, how's your day been? All right, da da da. Let's talk about this. Like who's this and da da da. Like that's kind of what my dad does. And some people don't think like that works, but I mean, I take the perspective of, since I mean that's what my dad did. It's just like treating your son or daughter like you're their best friend. And while that like I guess that can go poorly, I don't know. I think if they're rational and have perspective, it won't. I don't know.
Definitely, I think there's a right way and a wrong way to do that for sure. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. But I find that interesting.
Did you ever have like? You ever always hear about having the talk with your parents? And I never even like came close to that with my parents. I feel like for me it was more growing up. I was always shout out Dylan, my older brother, love you. I was always that little brother who always wanted to be with Dylan and his friends and going with them. So I feel like I learned a lot just being around them, surrounded with them for good and for worse, for bad. Like hearing what I probably shouldn't have been hearing at a certain age, but that's just how you grow up. But I never had a talk with them about anything of the theme of growing up and whatnot. It just kind of just go about your daily life, talk, do that, but never had a true sit down.
Yeah,
Right?
I feel like that that talk is like I think the more relevant talk in this day and age in terms of talks you need to have are like particularly for like African Americans and like African American males even more specifically. Actually no, that's not really true, just African American people in general realistically.
Yeah.
Just the kind of like the what comes with being an African American in today's society and just in society in general. I think that talk's more relevant than the other talk because I've never had that talk either. Because I think what I was gonna say is like I think we're in like our generations like now and like moving forward like they're just so entrenched in social media and like the media in general and like everything is literally at their fingertips that like they know all this before they're even like it's like these like 13, 14-year-olds like know all this shit and you're like dude
like,
what when I was 13,
like
14
how?
yeah
Like I was
and
still riding around
exactly.
with my boys just outside.
Exactly.
We were-
But I mean like so
you know,
yeah like I think we've kind of like surpassed societally of needing that conversation necessarily because I don't know that's what I think but I mean I think the more prevalent conversation is like having the conversation on and it's actually in reality it's not only just for African American people like the conversation now extends to like any race like the conversation that you're gonna have to have with your kids that are just like you as a white male have certain privileges that others in this country don't and that's just like innate because the standards and values that our country is built on and that's like how it has been so therefore like you have to acknowledge that and be aware of that and be educated in that and you have to move throughout your daily life aware of that because if you aren't then that's what creates these vast bridges that we then have to like cross in terms of things so I think the conversation of like
cross
honestly facts like I think the more relevant like quote unquote talk was just like sitting down with your kid and discussing that like we had a conversation like there's a big dinner we had with oh my god why do I keep
Mike's
doing
taking a
that
tumble twice. Sorry for the audio people.
yeah Jesus Christ but we had a conversation with many different leaders in the community and a variety of coaches and whatnot and these coaches all come from different backgrounds but we just had this conversation about race and things of that nature just things that are extremely prevalent currently but I mean have been prevalent since the inception of this country but and there were some with kids and I'm sure there were many more and I'm sure many more people think this it's like how do these as a white person, like raising your child, like how do you have that conversation on race? How do you approach that? Like what do you say to your kid? And I think that's an even more interesting thing because having the conversation as a black male to my son, well, I know what I need to say. I kind of know what I need to get across. But thinking about how that white male who like maybe hasn't really needed to approach race or approach certain things and like it maybe has never been prevalent to him in certain different ways. How do you say that to your son or daughter, or how do you approach that or communicate that, saying that like you are different from this person, but that difference means absolutely nothing. Like
you're different in color of skin.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. You're different in color of skin. I think, yeah, it's such a weird thing to go about telling your kid, like that there is a difference within society somehow, but I think a major thing that just if you're a good person and you raise your kids to be good people on good values and whatnot, I think I would hope that they begin to understand and just live their life in a way where they don't need to change anything in a sense. Yeah. To go, I don't know. It's tough.
I mean, like, I see what you mean. I think.
Obviously, the conversation needs to be had.
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying, like.
No, I completely get what you mean.
The kid. Hopefully, they understand. If they get put in a situation, what is right, what is wrong, what they should be doing on a consistent basis.
Trust me, I get what you mean. As someone that I didn't necessarily have to have that conversation with my father, just because they raised me, like he's raised me in a way that I just know the difference between right and wrong. I didn't even necessarily have to have that conversation. Like I know these things. I perceive these things. I'm able to like.
And then hopefully that happens at a high rate where it compounds on each other and we build a better society.
Yeah. It honestly, it more so just gets, I feel like genuinely it gets derailed by the fact that like what is perpetuated in our society at all levels and like from like education to just pop culture, like it's just, there's just so many different things that just like lend towards opposing just the objective right and wrong. Like,
completely.
Like there's so much just like deep intrinsic, just racial divide that is just so ingrained in everything we know. Those subconscious things are the reason why these things happen, even when you do know the objective right and wrong. So that's why it's sometimes necessary to go that extra step, because you're like, fuck, like that, like you hadn't considered that or something like that. Like I don't know, it's just.
Oh, I think yeah. I'm not writing out conversations.
Oh no, I know.
Like I think everyone in any moment, no matter what your beliefs and the type of person you are, need to have more conversations on those tough subjects and things like that. Make yourself uncomfortable and just work around it. Talk to people.
Living kind of. This next point kind of it kind of builds off what we just sort of talked about in terms of parenting and things like that. But it's about like punishments, like what punishments you got as a kid, like were you punished very often or things like that. And just from my own experience, I honestly like I think I feel like a lot of people say this, but I feel like I was a genuinely good kid. I didn't really do very much. Like I was telling someone like one of the worst things I feel like I ever got in trouble for was in like second grade maybe, first or second grade. Like you remember on DS? Did you have a DS?
Nintendo DS.
Yeah.
I know I had a Game Boy.
Okay, so you didn't have a DS.
I don't know if I had a DS.
Okay. Well,
on PSP.
Okay, yeah, I had a PSP too. I mean, I had all of them. I was kind of spoiled. I mean, of course, but I had a DS, and like most of my friends did too. And what you could do on the DS back in the day, and I'm sure some of you remember, is you could basically like text your friend on there. So like you basically had a phone on the well. Like it was quite interesting. And like at that young, you're like, oh my god,
like I can talk to my
friend
and not on the home phone.
Yeah. So like, but like we got in trouble because we like, I'm pretty sure like we were just like talking shit. Like basically we were talking shit to each other, and then like talking shit about people, like just because we thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And like we were just
because you could.
Yeah, exactly.
You could.
And I remember, I forget how, but one of the teachers like got one of them and then like saw something.
The teachers got one of them?
I think so. No, didn't get a DS. They got like they caught us.
Got one of the, yeah.
And then like we got in trouble or something, but it wasn't that big a deal.
Yeah.
But I just remember like, cause I once again I didn't get in trouble. I'm a kid who didn't really get in trouble very often.
Yeah.
Like if anything, I got in trouble for just talking too much because this guy talked too much.
Yeah.
But like I didn't really ever do anything.
Uh-huh.
I was just kind of like, yeah. But yeah, there's also another incident where like it was a certain grade where you weren't allowed to bring toys, and I remember like as you progressed older, you were allowed to bring toys. But I was in the grade like right before you were allowed to bring toys to school, I think, or something like that. And I like snuck some toys in my backpack. And then I think they got like taken away. And I was,
Dude,
like,
your schools are way more strict than my schools. Bringing toys. Like,
that was like
that
first.
That was any time policy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I got in trouble a lot.
Did you really?
I got in trouble a lot.
What did you do?
I don't know. I was just a little kid, man. Just doing my own thing.
Yeah.
Always been a thing of just like kind of a little rebellion in me. A little rebellious. So I was just always like doing whatever. And that, but I was always like, I wasn't the type of kid that was like getting in trouble and just sucking in school.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like there's different type of like bad kids. I'd say I was a fantastic kid.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was getting in trouble. There was little stints in my life where I just get in trouble with the rents a little bit.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
For me, that was like part of growing up.
No, it's understandable. It's
You
completely
learn a lot. You
understandable.
learn a lot. I think I learned a lot in those ones. Like in elementary school, getting sent to the office all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like just playing games too hard.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of that. Like
Mm-hmm.
like intense in recess.
Yeah.
Like
of
I
course.
wanted to win.
No, of course.
And so a lot of that. Some little scuffles and whatnot.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that. And then you
Understandable.
like different things growing up, like
Yeah.
getting to high school, and then you're not sure like where you're at in life. You get in trouble here and there, you learn from it. But yeah, my parents were really great about like when I get in trouble or like do something and like that they didn't appreciate. My dad being the very stern Midwestern man that he is, a little reactionary, and just right away, it could be scary.
Mm-hmm.
It could be in your face.
Mm-hmm.
Doing that. But they did my parents did a really great job of like communicating, reflecting after the fact, and then coming back to me like a little bit later, like taking a day or so, and then coming and like talking to me and like what they didn't like, what they disliked, and like how I can learn to grow and like experiences that they had when they were younger, and like how they grew from them, so we could relate a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I would learn a lot, and I really appreciate it. It wasn't just, oh, you suck as a kid, blah, 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 I don't understand why you're doing this. It was like, no, I did the same type of thing. This happened to me. I'm like not happy that you did it, but there's a lot of ways to learn from it, and it's not the end of the world. It's gonna be fine,
Yeah.
but just understand that that's not what we think you should be doing at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had that.
Yeah. I like that a lot. I mean,
I got spanked though. I did get spanked.
Yeah, I got spanked too.
No belt action. I think that's
I definitely got
intense.
some belt.
A belt is intense.
To be
My
fair.
dad's hand is strong enough.
I understand.
That thing,
Yeah, I definitely took a belt once or twice.
crazy.
I mean, to be fair, like I like once again didn't get in trouble very often, and if I did, it was really just me being like a moody brat person. Like,
Yeah.
But like I think it only happened like once or twice,
Mm-hmm.
and then yeah, or like no, probably like 2 or 3 times, a handful of times, whatever. But like I just know for a fact I was just like I don't like why am I doing this? Like I think after moving forward, I was just like I mean. I'm just like
Like, what am I doing here?
like yeah, like what
This-
are we doing?
Yeah, like, what's going on?
You're really like come on.
Come on.
But yeah, but more interestingly, like I've never been like grounded or anything. Like I know like that's a common thing when you get.
My
into,
parents
high
didn't
school.
believe in grounding either. I was never grounded. I don't know if your parents didn't believe in it or you just never got grounded. But my parents, it wasn't really a grounding thing. I think the only thing that ever happened to me was, like literally the one time I got my phone taken away for 2 weeks and my driving privileges taken away for like a month or something. And that's it. That's the only thing. And it was well deserved for sure.
Yeah, no, I never did anything that deserved that or like that warranted that. I can't even like I don't even think I really got like in trouble in high school. I mean, like I think it's just because like I mean I was the younger sibling, so I guess I had like the younger sibling thing, which I mean you did too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think me and my sister both we've always been pretty like scholarly people. So like I mean we're just always on our work and always on top of our shit, and so therefore our parents had room to be lenient, and they also knew that we just both worked so hard in our sports and shit. So we were just both pretty like driven individuals. So I mean like it's not like we ever did much wrong. I mean like I'm definitely the type of person that like does question authority and like quote unquote rebellious, I guess in a way. Just because like not even in like a disrespectful way or like an irrational way. I do so just because like if it's like just objectively doesn't really make sense, or like they're just like they're just doing so like just genuine, or just doing like just yelling or being like aggressive for absolutely no reason. It's just like, why do you have this hate in your heart? Like what reason are you doing this for? So like that's when I truly begin to like question leadership, and like I'm just like what? And like I don't know. I'm very much so a question the leadership, question the like.
If you can see character flaws and whatnot just coming about, and like kind of having a good understanding of what reactions are proper in certain instances, yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
Like, I'm not a follow an order just because it's a type of person. I want to understand why the decision's made, why everything, and like being on the same page.
Yep, that's the perfect way to say it. That is the perfect way to describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely been that way for a while. I think it's just because I think you all have to think like that. Like I think that like as a society, you getting lulled into that sense of you just like following exactly what someone says just because they say it is. That's why I question things like like that thought process is why I question things like marriage. So I question things like religion and spirit, like just because you.
Sorry, go for it.
No. I was gonna say just believing those things just exactly how they're told to you is how we don't progress as a.
Yeah, that's how we get into Nazi Germany. That's how you just follow. Like if you don't have critical thinking skills and the ability to discern information from being like true or not true, being able to go back and look into things that are told to you, like go and research things, go and find things out on your own. I think a lot of obviously learning from experience, like go and do stuff so you know how it applies to yourself and your way of thought and whatnot, not just reading something from a book and taking it at its face value and being like, oh, that's true, it's in a book, or like whatever, an article, a headline. We're big headline readers now.
Yeah.
Just you see a headline, it must be true, even though they can write anything in the headline, and although the whatever the contents of the article and whatnot have nothing to do with the headline, but they just know you're going to read the headline and take it for what it is.
Exactly.
It's tough.
All right. Well, this is been more of a serious podcast episode.
Yeah.
Not as many jokes as the per usual episode, but there are a lot of quality content, I would say.
Yeah, I love it.
But we're reaching the near end of our time together today.
Yeah. Gotta go to work, people.
We do. I'm trying to think of how we want to end today's episode.
I think we're gonna do questions of the day and like answer questions. We put some stuff out on our Instagrams to receive some questions, but honestly, the questions weren't all that fantastic and things that we should be doing. So if you want us to do questions of the day, if you have questions of us, send them over. We would love to answer questions of any type. So send them our way. We'll get that going. We'll have questions of the episode, questions of the week, type of thing. So I think that's a good way to end it going on. But if you have a way you want to end today's episode, I would love to hear.
I don't necessarily. I'll just end it with an opinion of. I'll just end it on just like a theme of how last night went. The boys were in their bag.
That's it.
That's it.
Love you guys. Bye.